controlling behind the net. Durkin for Jovanovski. Durkin, and we've got a penalty and 50 goaltender interference, and Dafoe is hurt.
Yeah, his knee, I'll tell you one thing. This has been happening too often, and I didn't see the actual contact, but collision, but he grabbed his right knee immediately. Let's see if we can pick this up. Number 8 will be, he's going to try and back himself in. Well, he's going to get interference, but this was just more or less an awkward situation. You know, as a forward in front of the net in the power play, you're supposed to try and back in. He did get tied up with Kyle McLaren, and I think Byron went down before really the contact with Brashear, and we're going to take another look right at the top of your screen. Yeah, you know what? Well, it's hard to say when that knee. He's in some pain too. I'll say that right now.
A lot of pain. Well, while they tend to Byron Dafoe, we will take a break. 4-0 Vancouver in the first. Well, they continue to work on Byron Dafoe, and Jerry Downey Del Negro has been working on that right knee, and Byron has been grimacing with much regularity.
Yeah, he's been sort of explaining to Donnie, you know, like he's been clenching his fist, or maybe saying there's a, you know, when I move it, there's a, you know, you can feel it and all that stuff. But I'm hoping from up here that it's maybe cramps, but it's being a little optimistic. This looks pretty serious. And in all fairness, Brashear was just backing into him, and there was a tanglement. He didn't bring a stretcher out, so. And you see Byron is. Wait, what is it, Dave? We're talking
Murphy's Law.
Whatever can go wrong goes wrong. And this really was an awkward situation as McLaren and Brashear were tangled up in front of him. Brashear was just doing what he was supposed to do in the power play. But, you know, it's funny, I talked to Byron in the last couple of times about how players in the opponents, back tonight before the game, and I hate to, how players on the opposing players are taking advantage of coming to the net too easily. And that can be stopped out front. But we're talking about, you know, maybe we got to take it into our own hands, the goaltending union has to take it in their own hands. And they're sort of giggling about that, but this is certainly not a laughing matter. As the pad is off, the right pad is off Byron. And he will be carefully put on the stretcher. Wow! Now we got you know, Rob Tallis, don't forget, has got that broken finger.
Well, I think Robbie could back up John Graham if he had to. He's been taking shots in practice, and Allie, who's sitting in the crowd tonight, was saying, you know, it hurts a little bit, the vibration of a shot on the glove, but they fitted him with a new cast this morning, and I'm thinking by Wednesday he probably will be well enough to back up John Graham, but this is not a sight you ever thought you would see.
Let's take a look at it once again. Here's Kyle McLaren, and well,
right there, it was McLaren who hit it.
Yeah, it was originally. Now I don't know where the injury took place, but like I was sort of being kind to Brashear in this situation, but he did back in, and I think he dragged the one leg and maybe created this whole toppling affair. But Byron ended up getting hurt. I know he's just doing his job and all that, and things can be awkward in that situation. So I let him off a little too easy. I'm still messing around with the goaltender.
I got to keep you in a checks and balance. I mean, you're just too close to these goalies. But it appeared that Kyle McLaren inadvertently came into the side of the outside of Byron's right knee and collapsed.
But it was hooked by Brashear. Let's see again. Now Brashear, with his strength, is going to push Kyle into, watch Brashear's left leg, if we can see it. No, not really. This was just an awkward situation.
I know Byron has some family and friends here tonight, having grown up on Vancouver Island. He says it's only 20-25 miles away, but it takes you 3 hours to get there. You have to take the ferry.
You know, earlier in this game, Dave, with Byron out, I know he was pulled. Pat wanted to stop the onslaught. He put John in, but I was watching Byron in the little alleyway behind the bench, and Donnie Del Negro went and got an ice pack.
Yeah.
And I know that Byron's been nursing a tender knee, and he did go get something done. And I don't think he left the game for that reason the first time, but he certainly left the game for a more serious